to another exciting episode of Live with RxMuscle's March to the Olympia 2015, sponsored by Results Nutrition. I'm your host, Dave Palumbo, and I'm here with tonight's guest, IFBB New York Bikini Pro, India Paulino. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dave, for having me. I know.
A lot.
Yeah.
Now, you had a pretty productive year. You were fourth at the Arnold. You won the New York Pro, the Miami Beach Pro, and the Pittsburgh Pro. So you're on a roll again.
Yeah, those wins were really important to me. I did it. I had a goal, and they meant a lot for a lot of different reasons. They weren't just wins, So yeah, I'm excited. I had 3 wins this year, and I'm ready to go to the Olympia. So
I'm going to ask you about why they weren't just wins in a minute, but let's talk about bikini for a little bit, because there are very few bikini competitors who've been consistently good over the years. You see a lot of these people, they come on like gangbusters, they do real well, and then they kind of disappear. I haven't seen Nathalia Mello. I haven't seen Nicole Negrani. You seem to be one of those originals that have stayed or basically stayed the test of time, so to speak, where you just haven't gone away and you keep gnawing your way up higher and higher and higher. You won the Arnold Bikini International in 2013. You were very close to winning the Olympia. You never got the Olympia title. How do you keep the consistency that you've kept over these years, and why do you think you're so successful where other people have kind of dropped off?
You know what? I am just the type of person, I don't care what is thrown at me. I find there's something to learn from everything that happens to you. And, when I first started, it was win. And I was so grateful for that. But then about, 2 years ago or so, my placings at the Olympia and Arnold kind of went back a little bit. I was always in the top. I've always been the top 6 in those shows. But, I brought a better physique, and my placings kind of started going down a little bit. So it was a little bit of a mental thing for short period of time. And I think that's one of the differences, I guess, between me and others. And I can't speak for others, but it's something that I see that happens very often, where you have 2 choices. You either get discouraged, take it personal, and stop competing, or you say, you know what? I still learn. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a damn thing. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm going to keep pushing. And that's what I did. I learned a lot, Dave, from all of that. I don't take it as a negative. I still won because I accomplished my goals. I came in better, and I won because I learned so much about myself, and I've grown so much mentally, physically, spiritually. And to me, that's a win. That's more sometimes than a trophy is. So I think a lot of people sometimes just focus so much on the trophy. Now, don't get me wrong. I want that damn Olympia title more than anything. And when you train, you train to win. But I don't forget about the other things that are just as important. And I think that for me, that's what has helped me kind of keep going. I don't give up. I continue to prove to myself that I am stronger than I already think. And sometimes when you think, oh my gosh, I can't be any stronger, you can.
Well, what I think I've seen is that a lot of the top girls, and yourself included, I remember in 2011 when you won the Junior Nationals and I interviewed you and you got the pro card, and then you kind of went on that whirlwind of wins. I think a lot of the girls were like that. They were winning everything off the bat, and then they maybe weren't winning. And you're right. I think a lot of people took it personally and just said, well, I'm quitting. And they disappeared, and you were kind of a good sport about it and said, look, maybe I got to go back to the drawing board and work on what I'm working on, because I've seen bikini evolve not necessarily in a physique sense, but in a presentation sense. It's become much more classy. The routine, what you walk out to, is very important. Your whole routine that you walk out to has completely changed. Even your suit color, you abandoned the old yellow suit. I see now you got the black suit. Talk to me about what you've seen the division evolve into over the last 4 or 5 years.
It definitely has changed, and I think when of course, like as any other division, we really didn't know what the standard was going to be for bikini, physique wise, presentation wise, everything. I wasn't there when it first started. I kind of came in a year later, which is pretty new. But yes, the physique. I mean, I was always I was never a curvy girl. I'm still not. It is what it is, and so I had very muscular legs. In the beginning, it was okay to have more muscular legs. Not anymore. So I had to make sure that I kept working towards creating the physique that was now the new look for bikini, and it keeps changing. I mean, it's been kind of consistent the past, I guess, year and a half or so, but presentation wise, I mean, I think it was last year Tampa Pro where I changed up the suit, I changed up everything, and my posing, and it was because it was one of those things where, like I said earlier, all that stuff happened where my placement started dropping and all that stuff. I'm like, I got to change it up a little bit. Let me give them something new. I had been working really hard on shaping my physique a different way to fit the bikini criteria at that time, and I did it. And it wasn't just a new look. It was a new everything. It was a new mentality. It was a new energy that I had. And I think that in Tampa, everybody saw that. Everybody felt that because it was so strong. And it was all just me overcoming everything that I had thrown at me in my life during that time, as well as, dealing with the placements going down and just keeping my head up and pushing no matter what. So it was just a combination of all of those things, and just kind of like, bam, I'm still here.
Now, talk to me a little bit about what the trials and tribulations, because everyone has life happen to them. A lot of people forget that you're not a robot. You're not a hamster living in a cage. You have life happening to you. You have a career. You have job. You have money needs. You have to pay bills. Talk to me about what went on in your life during this period and what you've overcome, and why it feels so good to have established these wins this year.
Well, I'm a pretty private person, so I won't talk about a lot of the things, but let's just say there were a lot of major life changes, and it was just one thing after the other, and I'll tell you what, this year it's been the same thing. But to me, I can handle it, I can take it. Sometimes, when it rains, it pours, but there's a reason why it's given to me. It's because I can handle it, and I don't know. The only thing I know how to do is move forward, push forward. But like I said earlier, the 3 wins this year were more than just wins, because of everything I went through. And I know you want to. I just don't feel comfortable talking about a lot of the things just because I'm so private. But let's just say that even one of the things that happened, there are a lot of people would a year later would still be down on themselves for. And I know I'm not. I have to pick myself up no matter what happens in my life, because that's just what I know how to do, and that's the only way that I can continue to move forward.
Is it hard, India, when people around you don't necessarily get what you're doing? Because it does on appearance. And I've been obviously in the sport for a long time. It looks like a selfish thing we do, getting up on stage and dolling ourselves up, and we have to look so perfect and eat right and go to the gym and miss holidays and stuff like that. Is it tough to block those people out, because they're always there in your life and everyone has them, and focus on what's important to you at that moment?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in the beginning of my career, it was because it was all new to me. It was a little bit hard to balance, and that's what it is. It's finding that balance. And you know what? It's not selfish. A lot of people do view it as selfish, but it's not. Just like caring about yourself, loving yourself, that's not selfish. But the way society looks at it as if you do anything for yourself, you're a selfish person and you don't care about anybody else. No, you do this because you're trying to accomplish something you want, and it's something for you. And I say, hell, do it. You know, too often people do what everybody else wants them to do. And I think it's important to do what we want to do. I've had people, well, why do you do this? Well, you never hang out. You never do anything like this, like that. Like, okay, well, you do your work. I don't say anything to you. You have a 9 to 5. You do your 9 to 5. I would never tell you, hey, leave work to come hang out. But you can tell me, hey, don't work out and come hang out. That's my life. That's what I do. I don't let it bother me anymore. In the beginning, it was a little bit tough because I felt like I had to keep explaining to people, well, this is why, this is why. I don't owe anybody an explanation. This is what I'm doing. This is what I love to do. This makes me happy. I'm sorry, I can't go out. I honestly don't really go out anyway. But I learned how to balance my life so that if I do want to do something now, I can go and do it. At first, I think, well, I know myself included, but a lot of competitors get tunnel vision. And all you want to hear, sleep, eat, whatever is prep. And later on, they'll learn that there is a balance and you are able to do it all. Like, I can do it all right now. I can go hang out with friends. I can be home if I want to. I still have time for the gym and do everything that I need to do. I didn't know that in the beginning. I had to learn that. But to answer your question, as far as people, I don't care. I'm going to do what I need to do. And most of them by now, it's been 5 years, so most of the people that are close to me, they finally understand. So they don't even bother me.
Very good. Well, here's another interesting question. I've interviewed a lot of people, obviously, in this road to the Olympia that we've been doing. I've interviewed Juliana Malacarni, the Miss Physique Olympia. She's got no boyfriend, can't find a boyfriend. I interviewed Candace Keene the other night, no boyfriend. I mean, you guys are at the top elite. And then I asked you before the show, and you said no boyfriend. Why don't the hottest girls in our sport with the best bodies can't find a boyfriend? Is it because of what we do? Is it the sport itself? Is it that guys are insecure? Why do you think that you guys have such trouble finding, solid boyfriends?
I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, I need somebody who, I'm complete. I don't need somebody to complete me. I know who I am. I know what I want. I do things myself. I'm not looking for somebody to do any of that for me. So I also have a very strong personality, and a lot of men, are intimidated by a woman who's strong, or a woman who knows what she wants, and is clear on her goals and her life goals. And I don't know. I mean, I know what I want, and I'm not going to settle for less. So I don't think it's necessarily, it's not that I don't get asked out. It's not that I don't get hit on. That's not it at all. It's just I don't care for those people because they're not who I need in my life. I need somebody who's going to help me grow as a person, not hold me back, and somebody that has, of course, the qualities that I want and I need.
Qualities.
Somebody who is understanding, who listens, who communicates, who enjoys, of course, does not have to have the same, likes that I do or be into the same things that I like, but is understanding and listens and is concerned. Somebody who I can count on no matter what, who I don't have to worry about doing stupid shit over there because I don't have time for that. Somebody who's confident. I need somebody who's confident, somebody who's strong, and somebody who also is trying to grow as a person themselves.
Would you consider yourself a selfish person? Because I think when I competed and I look back at myself, I'm like, I was pretty damn selfish. And I think it's necessary to a certain degree to be the best you can on stage. And do you think that sometimes is a turnoff to guys?
I don't think I'm selfish at all. I'm actually, I think I'm too giving, to be completely honest with you. I'm actually working on being better at receiving, because I've just never been that way, because I never wanted to be selfish. So I don't think that I'm selfish at all. I honestly think that, and especially in a relationship, absolutely not. Ever, really. I'm just not a selfish person. I know, like you said, in the sport, that's, people judge. And that's why I think judging is I don't believe in it at all. But no, I think it's more of, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think it's that. I do know that in the past I've had boyfriends that I've had. I've never met through that person asking me out or something like that. It's always been, we were best friends, we were friends, and then that's how it happened. So I've been told that I don't look like a very approachable person from guys.
Obviously, to most guys.
But it's the thing though, like I don't. I'm the most friendliest person ever. Like I don't. If I'm not smiling though, I probably look pissed off, and I get that from my dad. But I'm not. I'm really nice. I'm not. It's just, I don't know if it's the way I carry myself or
the ex-police officer in you. You know, I think that you got that gun-toting, you know, like don't mess with me look, and maybe guys are scared of that. I don't know.
I don't know, Dave. But I'm honestly not worried about it at all.
Now, let's say there's a guy watching this show now, which I'm sure there are a lot out there, and they're like, "Wow, I think that India is. I'd be perfect for India." How could a guy approach you where you wouldn't take it as like an annoyance? You know what I mean? Like because it's a very hard thing to know what the perfect way to approach a woman is if you're not kind of like in the industry. Like someone who's kind of in the industry already who would know you, it would be easier. But like someone who's just like maybe a competitor or a guy who works out who says, I think I'd be perfect. How does a guy approach you? How would you not be turned off by a guy coming on to you?
I don't know, Dave, because I just don't like. I don't know. Just be respectful, but I'm not into that. Like, I don't know. It's never happened for me that way. I just don't know.
Reference. In other words, if you want to date India, you got to have like a reference who has to then contact her, and she has to approve the resume, and then we could talk, right?
No, it's just it's like, I don't know. Listen, it's actually hilarious, especially down here in South Florida. The men are nuts. Like, I'm like, do you really think? Like, they're too much. Some of them, like, you can't be so. They'll try to grab your hand. Like, if you grab my hand again, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Don't touch me. Like, what makes you think that like you have that right? You know what I mean? That is like, forget it. Or like the emails or the posts or whatever, and it's like, hey, so like these stupid pickup lines, and I'm like, really? Like, do you really? So it doesn't work for me. That's why I'm telling you, like, it's always just been, I've known that person, because here's the thing, like dates and blind dates, never been a fan. It's very hard for me to even give a person a chance if I don't know who they are as a person, because I care more about their mind than the physical. Right. So if you can't keep me entertained, if you have nothing smart to talk about, you have nothing to talk about, or you have nothing going for yourself as far as goals or things you want to reach, and it's just not going to happen. So I need to kind of know that person first. I'm not saying that it can't happen. Oh, you approach me, and I don't know, miracles happen, but it's just never been that way for me. And I honestly, I don't see that happening. So.
They're a tough nut to crack. That's all there is to it, and people are gonna have to accept that. Final question: why will India Paulino win the Olympia this year? Tell me why.
Why? Because this is now my 5th year gunning for that freaking title. It is the only title that I have ever wanted and still have not gotten. I have not given up. I am stronger than ever, mentally, physically. This is going to be my best physique that I've brought to any stage. And I tell you, I've put my heart and soul into everything in this sport the past 5 years, not just the couple of weeks or a year or two. No, from day one that I stepped on stage, on an NPC stage, I have given I've sacrificed so much, and not that nobody else does, but I've sacrificed so much. I've given so much. I've done everything that I possibly can to get to where I'm at. And there's nothing more for me to do. God willing, this is, like I said, going to be the best physique that I've brought. I've been busting my ass to bring that to this stage. And I want to be able to be an even bigger inspiration to people and show people that just because you have downfalls sometimes doesn't mean that you're not going to get up. You can get up and sometimes become even bigger and better than you were before those downfalls happened.
I think that your physique may not have evolved as much as your psyche has evolved over the last 5 years. I think you're a different person in that sense. I can actually, because I've interviewed you so much, I can just feel the energy change in you. Do you think it's important that the Bikini Olympia champ be an ambassador to the division and to, basically be a role model for the women? Because I haven't seen any, because the Bikini Olympia title has changed so much over the last couple of years, I haven't really seen anyone solidify themselves as the number one bikini woman who everyone looked up to and says, oh, I want to be like you, and who's really given back yet. I think that you might be that person.
Thank you, Dave. I've tried to be that person from day one. Even if I didn't have that title, I'm still a top competitor. I'm still in the top, and it's a responsibility. It is. You have a lot of girls. There are so many girls that compete in the sport, and men. You're still an inspiration to men as well. And you need to be able to be a good ambassador for the sport and a good example, not just because you stand on stage and you look great and you win a trophy. It's more than that. This is the biggest show in our sport. You have everybody all over the world looking at you. You need to be able to give those people something all day, every day, for years. It's not just, oh, you win, great, I won, now let me disappear or let me do my own thing. No, it's a responsibility. And you got to be able to take that responsibility and do it. Like I said, I've tried my best to do that for 5 years, and winning that title, it's just I don't even know. I think I would pass out.
Well, you got my vote. You convinced me, and I want to wish you the best of luck at the Olympia in 2 weeks. We'll obviously see you out in Las Vegas. Good luck with your last 2 weeks prep.
Thank you so much, Dave. I appreciate it.
Very welcome. All right, well, that'll do it for another episode of Live with RxMuscle's March to the Olympia 2015, sponsored by Results Nutrition. We'll see you next time.